What's going on, Bears fans? It's your boy Abel Byrd, and this is Bird's Eye on the Bears. Welcome to the table. Forgive me, I got to be a little bit quiet because it's late at night. Obviously, it was a Sunday night game, and my kids are sleeping, so can't be too loud. So forgive me for that. But man, this is a really good game. Came down to the last play. The Bears lose 42-38 in a shootout. And like I said, man, it came down to the last play. Bears had it on the 49ers 6-yard line with 4 seconds left to go on the clock in the game, and Caleb tried to get it to Jade Walker on that last play, but he just wasn't able to get enough on it. I felt like Caleb probably drifted back too much. I felt like he not that he could have stayed in the pocket, but it is what it is, man. He played a fantastic game. Both teams did, and we just fell short. It was your old fashioned shootout, man. The Bears weren't able to stop anything the 49ers were able to do, obviously, except for that pick six in the beginning. But the 49ers, man, Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan were just cooking tonight. I felt like Kyle Shanahan just had you could just tell he was in a groove, and he was just in his bag tonight, and Brock Purdy was as well. And on the Bears side of things, it looked a little bleak the first 2 drives of the game for the Bears offensively, going 3 and out, but Caleb started to cook. His deep ball accuracy started to show, and Ben Johnson also started showing his hand as well and showing his play calling expertise and matching blow for blow with Kyle Shanahan. So, man, both quarterbacks played really well, and it was one of those classic Sunday night games between 2 teams vying for the number 1 seed. Huge going into this game. It was huge playoff implications on the line. The Bears had to basically win out. The 49ers have to win out to get the number 1 seed. The Bears would have needed the Seahawks to lose next week, but obviously it doesn't matter now. So, yeah, huge playoff implications coming in. The 49ers were hot. The Bears were coming off the dramatic win against the Packers last week. So it was a game that definitely lived up to the hype. And like I said, man, just both quarterbacks played really well. Both play callers, showed why they're the best play callers in the league. And it was a true heavyweight match. Both teams going blow for blow. But yeah, let's get into some stats, man. All right, so Caleb was 25 for 42, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, and Purdy was 24 for 33, 303 yards for 5 total touchdowns. He had 3 passing and 2 running. Man, the one thing that I loved about Caleb this game was his accuracy. You could tell, and not just that, you could just tell his confidence is building, and it felt like his performance from the 4th quarter and overtime last week in the Packers game rolled over and carried over into this game, into the beginning of this game, other than those 2 3-and-out drives. But other than that, it just felt like Caleb, like I said, just his confidence carried over from the last 4th quarter and overtime from the Packers game. And really what I mean by that is just his deep ball accuracy, and specifically that ball to Burden and the ball to Loveland too. But the ball to Burden to start out was like, that was a big time throw. And it really felt like last week, that ball he threw to DJ Moore, it felt like something almost kind of clicked to him. Like, okay, like I can throw these deep balls with accuracy. And because if you've been watching the Bears, even for this year and last year, he struggled a lot with his deep ball accuracy. And This year has gotten kind of better, and there have been times where he's missed his shots. So it just seemed like coming into this game, just to see his confidence grow and to see him start fast was very encouraging. Of course, his on the move accuracy is elite. That's something that he's been showcasing all year pretty much. And yeah, so that was encouraging to see. One thing that I think Caleb could have worked on though was just like there was a couple drives after he threw his second touchdown. I think it was after he threw the Loveland touchdown on the free play. It kind of seemed like he started big play hunting after that throw to Loveland. So that's the only one thing I would say like that he has to work on is just kind of just staying consistent and not getting too big play minded when he makes a big play, and just keep it simple. I felt like a couple of drives after that he was kind of he was, like I said, just big play hunting, and that kind of stalled our drives after that Loveland touchdown. So that would be the only thing that I would say he'd have to work on from this game. Our defense might be the Bears defense might be in trouble in the playoffs. It's not something that is new to us Bears fans. Teams have been gaining a lot of yards on us and moving the ball on us all year, especially the good teams. One thing that we've been able to do is take the ball away, and we did that today. But what we didn't do was mitigate the 49ers offense, and we allowed them to score 42 points. So it's not surprising, but it kind of really it showed today. It kind of showed, it was a sneak peek into what could happen in the playoffs if we don't tighten things up a little bit. But we kind of been on that. I think this game confirmed it for me. All right, let's get into what actually happened. The Caleb Williams throw to Luther Burden, that was a 35-yard touchdown, 35-yard dot. That was like the first moment where I felt we were able to match firepower with the 49ers. I was like, okay, we might be able to go toe for toe with them in this game, especially with the 49ers, especially with them coming back after that pick six and scoring on back-to-back drives and making it 14-7. And they moved the ball with ease. So it was just like, for us to come back and answer in that way in a big play manner was very encouraging. And that throw from Caleb was big time. Like I mentioned before, with his deep ball accuracy, man, this dude makes some elite throws, and that was one of them. And Luther Burden, man, dude's a beast, and he's showing why it was good to get him. And so yeah, that play was nice. The touchdown to Loveland, the touchdown to Loveland on the free play, that tied the game up. It was in the second quarter. It tied it up 21-21. And that was, I always enjoy seeing those type of plays with the Bears, because just, having Aaron Rodgers in the North for so long, you just, as soon as you see a free play touchdown, you just think of Aaron Rodgers, because that was like his specialty, especially with how good he was with his cadence. And to see Caleb Williams throw a rope to Colston Loveland was good to see, man. Just another encouraging outcome on that drive to prove that, hey, we're a contender, we're a legit Super Bowl contender, and we can win in multiple different ways, whether it be tight games down the stretch, a tight defensive game, or a comeback win, or a shootout. I think that was like a statement drive on our part to show that we can win in any manner. But That was dope. Caleb dropped back and he was pretty calm about it and just laced a throw to Colston Loveland. It's pretty nice, man, to just see the Bears push the ball down the field more. I feel like these past 3-4 weeks they've been doing that, specifically this game and the Packers game last week, because pretty much all year they really weren't, Caleb, and whether it was Caleb or Ben Johnson not calling too many shot plays, or just Caleb being kind of scared to throw the deep ball. We haven't really been throwing the ball downfield like that, not throughout the year. So it's really nice to see them push the ball down the field and also just capitalize on that free play. That's what winning teams do. That's what championship teams do. The 80-yard fourth quarter drive, that was it, and it was capped off by DeAndre Swift 20-yard touchdown run. That was like the best drive of the game for the Bears, and I say that because it was a must-have drive, and the Bears answer the only way the Bears can, in dramatic fashion. And I think it was like 2 third downs, pivotal third downs that they converted. One that was they overcame like a holding penalty by Ozzie Trapillo. It was a 3rd and 1 and made it a 3rd and 11. And then Caleb was able to, I think he hit Jade Walker to convert that 3rd down. And so that was just huge. And then they converted a 4th down as well to Loveland, I believe. And that was just, it was nice to see them answer on that drive. And just like how they've been all year, man, just blow for blow, no matter, whenever they needed to answer all year, they've been able to answer. I can't remember a time where they, other than like the Ravens game, where when Caleb threw that pick to Andrew Wiggins, not Andrew Wiggins, but I forgot to do his name, but Wiggins, number 2 cornerback for the Ravens. Other than that, man, the Bears have answered. Their offense has answered every time they needed to answer this year, and that was just another glimpse of that. So that was pretty nice to see DeAndre Swift with a 20-yard run. It's just the Bears' identity, man, just running the ball hard, getting 3rd down conversions when they need it, getting 4th down conversions when they need it. That was beautiful to see. All right, so let's get into some key defensive plays, 3 key defensive plays. The TJ Edwards pick 6, of course, was just like huge. That was a big time moment because I thought right off the bat it showed that we are a Super Bowl contender. That's what it made me feel like. As soon as the first play of the game, Jalen Johnson breaking on the ball very well, causing the deflection for TJ Edwards to catch it. And then, Edwards runs it in. That was just, it was encouraging to see, man, just to see us make a big play like that against a formidable opponent like the 49ers. We're both vying for the 1 seed. That was like, that was one of those moments, again, where it just reassured me, like, the Bears are a Super Bowl contender. The Bears are real. It gives us a 7-point advantage right off the bat, especially with the 49, with us getting the ball in the second half. So it put the 49ers behind the 8 ball. Of course, they were able to answer really quick with 2 touchdown drives, but still, man, just to be able to show that it's been our identity all year, just to show that, look, our takeaways aren't luck. We practice this. It's a mindset. Like, it's something that we thrive on. And Al Harris and Dennis Allen had all year, man, just teaching them boys, man, just teaching them to go for that ball, man, attack that ball. So that was pretty dope to see, man. Man, the CJGJ interception in the end zone, I think it was like 21-21 at that time. And CJGJ ends up getting a pick in the end zone on like a 3rd down. but then it gets wiped out because CJ Gardner Johnson ended up getting a penalty. He had it was like illegal hands to the face. He had muffed Ricky Pearsall in the face mask, which was a 5-yard. Obviously wiped out the interception, and then it was a 5-yard penalty on the Bears, and it's a automatic first down. So that was a killer. That was massive because I think it was like towards the end of the half, and it was like maybe like 6 minutes left in the half. Man, that could have been so huge for us, and we would have got ball back in the second half. So for that penalty to get wiped, or for that interception to get wiped out, that was tough. And then the next like few plays after that, Brock Purdy does his like magician act and like puts the wiggle sticks on Austin Booker and somebody else, I think Javon Dexter, and then throws that Mahomes-esque touchdown to Kyle Juszczyk. So that was a killer. That was a killer. You could say not one play doesn't call the game, but that was one that I was like thinking about at the end of the game, like, damn, if we could have just got that one. The fourth quarter defensive stop on midfield, like when the Bears forced the 49ers to punt the ball. Finally, it was like the second time they had punted in the game, but it was like the first time in a long time since the team started going blow for blow. So we forced them to punt on like the Bears like 45-yard line, which was huge. And it was like maybe, I think it was probably like 6 minutes left in the game, something like that. Probably even like 8, maybe even 8 minutes or 9. But yeah, man, that was huge just to get that stop and give us a chance to go up, which we did. We ended up getting a field goal, 38-35. We obviously would have liked a touchdown there, but just that was massive, man, for the defense to step up right there, because it gave us the chance to win the game, and we were winning after that. So shout out to the defense a little bit, even though they gave up hella yards and 42 points, but they stepped up right there when they needed to. Yeah, let's talk about the last play of the game just a little bit more. So the Bears end up getting the ball, so Brock Purdy, it was 38-35. Brock Purdy, they end up marching down the field and scoring Jawan Jennings on like a 25-yard touchdown. And then the Bears had a chance to come down the field. They did. They were marching. I felt like, Caleb was doing his thing, of course, Iceman. He converted, I think, 2 fourth downs. And I thought the clock management wasn't terrible. The only thing I didn't like was when we called the timeout. I think Ben must have got the play in late, and we ended up calling a timeout, and because it was like 4 seconds left on the play clock, and we ended up calling a timeout, wasting a timeout, which was proved to be huge because we only ended up having one timeout towards the end of that drive. So when we did the hook and lateral, if we would have had that timeout that we pretty much wasted because we would have got to delay a game, then we would have had a few more shots at the end zone, not just one. So that's like my only thing. And I don't know whose fault that is, if it was Ben Johnson's fault or Caleb's fault, just getting everyone to the line quick. But that one was kind of proved to be a hiccup because then it only gave us one shot to the end zone. And at that point, it's like, it's either win or go home, so you got to draw up your best play or what you think is going to be your best play. And yeah, it was just tough, man. That was a tough one, but you would have liked to see the clock managed a little bit better. Hopefully it's a learning lesson going into the playoffs. But yeah, Man, let's get into some players that impressed. I got two today. The first one is Austin Booker. He's been flashing, man, since Dio Odengbo went down. I would say he's been an upgrade. And that's crazy to say, being that we didn't pay Dio 3 years. I think, I don't know how much it was, but it was like a crazy amount for like relative to the amount of production or lack thereof that Dio was given before his injury. But man, Austin Booker, since he's came in and filled that role, he's been flashing. Not just flashing, his name has been being called heavily week to week, and this game was a huge game for him. I just think his length and his speed can be such a factor for the Bears. I think, will it be enough? I don't know. Is he an every down edge rusher? I don't know. But dude was he was everywhere this game, and he had 2 swats at the line. He had 1 sack, which was like just pure speed. And yeah, man, he was disruptive all game. The only knock I would say, the only one like knock I would give him was just not getting Brock Purdy down on that like magician type play. I just felt like right there, you got him where you got him right where you want him. Just like stop in front of him. Don't try to break down in front of him. Don't try to like run past him, because it was like because Brock Purdy can move, so it was like you had him right where you needed him. Just break down and just put your hands up, like just so that I'm not explaining it the best, but that's just kind of like, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about with the breaking down part, and not just running past him and allowing him to move right and then move up the field to throw that magician throw to Juszczyk. So yeah, that was the only thing. The second player I want to shout out, man, is Luther Burden. Man, let's give it up for this dude, bro. Luther Burden, man, we got to give Luther Burden his flowers, because coming out of the draft, I seen a lot of scouts saying that, for starters, that he slid in the draft because he had some issues, I think, with his family or with him specifically, and I think he was demanding something. I can't, don't quote me on that, but it was something that was going on. But not only that, I heard that he had a lot of issues, just personality issues, and also that there was a knock on his route running ability, and that he was more tagged as a gadget guy. And I felt like today specifically, not just today, but like throughout the whole year, just the eye test tells me that he's always open. Like, he gets great separation. And then after the catch, dude is like, man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a comparison, man, but I don't know, like Zay Flowers, maybe Xavier Worthy. Just, he is dangerous with the ball in his hands. And that was something that that was one of his pros coming out of college, was he was a jitterbug. So, that shows up heavily when he catches the ball. And then on top, especially in pivotal moments like that I think it was like a 3rd and 5 on that last drive, or 3rd and 10. But yeah, dude is a baller, man. And he's got great hands. He seems to have really great chemistry with Caleb. And like I said, he always seems open, man. He gets great separation. Every time he runs a route, every time they replay it, he has the cornerbacks or the safety or whoever's guarding him on skates. So we gotta give our flowers to Luther Burden, man. Shout out to the rookie. He's been doing his thing. All right, let's wrap the show, man. The last thing I would say that the Bears need to fix going into next week is the defense, man. I don't really even think it's something that they're going to be able to fix. It's probably going to be something that they're going to have to fix during the offseason. But we got to find a way to mitigate these big plays and these easy drives for these teams, man, because it definitely is what keeps these teams in the game. Even the first Packers game, it was like all the Packers offense was Christian Watson, and like third down plays. Like it was a third down, like 60-yard touchdown to Christian Watson, and then like a 30-yard touchdown to Christian Watson, both on third downs. And I don't know what it is, man, but we gotta do better with the way that these good elite teams are moving the ball on us, because I think that in the playoffs we'll still be able to go toe for toe offensively with these teams, but man, like we gotta try to mitigate it. We can't have Brock Purdy going 303 yards, 5 touchdowns, man. So it's tough. That's the one thing I would say we got to fix just overall, but I don't know if we are going to be able to fix it. It's just, I just think we are who we are. And right now, and that is just, we rely on takeaways, and we rely on our run game and our offense to keep time of possession. And that's just who we are, and we'll ride that as long as we can this year. But next year, we got to get it fixed. Hopefully, we can do something to mitigate it next week and going into playoffs. Final thoughts. I thought the Bears played well, man. I thought that they proved once again, and that why we're a top team in the NFL and deserve more respect. And I think honestly we got the respect. I think that this just doubled down on that respect. If we could have pulled it out, man, that would have been so beautiful to be able to like add to the Iceman narrative, and to add to the craziness that this season has been. The cardiac Bears, the cardiac Chicago narrative that's been just fuming the city of Chicago this year. So that would have been nice, but it can't happen all the time, man. At some point we gotta be able to score. When it's 35-35, we gotta be able to score a touchdown there instead of it being a field goal, because our defense, I don't think is just going to be able to hold up in the playoffs. And so that's just my thoughts. I think the Bears are Super Bowl contenders. I think that this game showed that to me, because last week it felt like although we came out with the victory, we didn't really play that well that game. And I felt like this game we came out playing a lot better from the jump, offense, and although the defense didn't really play that well, but our offense showed that our offense and obviously our takeaway ability shows that we're Super Bowl contenders. And that's the takeaway I take from this game. Those are my final thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you've gotten to this part of the show, I appreciate it. If you watched a little bit, whatever, I appreciate that too. Feel free to like and subscribe. And this was Bird's Eye on the Bears. Bear down. See you guys next week.